Hello everyone, it's Ellen and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a longer video. I'm documenting our recent summer holiday that we went on. I couldn't fit all of it into one video, so I'm uploading part 2 tomorrow because obviously it's 7 days worth of journaling and we got through a lot of activities on our holiday, so yeah, there's lots to document. So from this holiday, obviously I have a lot of photos and I also have different ephemera pieces. So you can see on the screen here, I have our all-inclusive wristbands that we wore and also the little welcome booklet that we got when we arrived at the hotel. My title page, I created a short video and I've uploaded that onto Instagram and TikTok a few videos ago. I've uploaded quite a few times since then, but yeah, that was just a quick video showing how I created that page. I used this gorgeous bookmark that I brought from a tourist shop. So yeah, you can see that video. If you look for my links in the description, they'll send you there. So I'm using 2 different collections to document my holiday. I'm using the Here and There sticker book from Simple Stories, and then I also have the sticker book and the paper repack from Vicky Boutin's Where To Next. Both of these work really nice together. They're nice and colourful and interesting, and yeah, they worked really nicely for this video. So I've jumped forward a little bit. I've got a flip out here of some of my photos of us getting on the plane and, you know, making our way to the airport and things. It was a bit of an early flight in the morning, so we were a bit tired, but yeah, there's some funny photos of us all and a gorgeous photo of Theo and his Poppy looking out of the plane window. He flew brilliantly. He did so well for his first ever flight. We were really proud of him. It was 5 hours as well. We went to Cyprus, so yeah, it was a 5-hour flight with an hour delay on the plane as well, but yeah, he handled it really well. We were really pleased with him. I'm glad we waited until he was a little older to fly because yeah, it was a really fun experience for him and I'm extremely proud of how he handled it. So I've got that flip out, like I said, and I've added a little tab so it's easy to see that it's a flip out, and then I've got lots more photos on that first page and some different ephemera pieces. I used a lot of pieces that have planes on because obviously I was documenting the flight, and the paper that I was working on is actually a packaging from a paper pad. So to cover up the writing and the bit of the paper that I didn't want to see, I used this pretty floral paper scrap. So that worked nicely, and then we're working on the next page, gluing down my wristbands just with some tacky glue, and then I also go through them with a staple just to try and keep them secure. I'm not sure how well they will stay stuck, we will see. And then I've got a photo of our hotel and I've backed that with some of these paint swatch stickers, and yeah, that's going to stick along the top. That isn't my photo, I got that off the internet because I forgot to take a photo of the hotel, so I got that printed from their website, which looks really nice. And then that little booklet is the sort of welcome booklet that we got when we arrived, just with the food times, meal times, you know, all of that information on there, which was lovely. I'm working on I'm still on day 1. I'm working on the next spread for that, and you can see I've stuck down one of the pieces from the paper repad, and that's going to hold all of my journaling. And then I've added some photos around that, including photos of our room, and I like to take a little screenshot of the map to show sort of where we were. On the following page, I'm sticking this information sheet from the hotel again, just sort of welcomes you to the hotel and tells you about meal times and all of that information. I'm then sticking down some photos on the top of that, and I've also got a flip out for that of some more photos. I've got this beautiful photo of this first sunset that we saw there. We walked out of the balcony after dinner and yeah, walked into this amazing view. You can see the sea and the sun setting over it, absolutely stunning. I love that photo. The rest of the photos are all of us playing in the pool with Theo. Theo adored the pool. He's a really good swimmer, and the pool was warm, so it was incredibly relaxing. The pool was probably my favourite part out of that holiday. If you don't know, I have a chronic pain condition, so swimming and floating in a warm pool was absolute bliss for me. I'm going to miss that forever. I want to go back to that hotel purely for that pool. So yeah, I've added all of my journaling, and I also added a bit of journaling down the side of the right hand page because I ran out of room. I got these cool stickers from Cyprus. That's where we were, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it. So I've got this sort of, I think it's called the evil eye, and I've got a few stickers of them, so they're going to be dotted throughout my journaling. And again, I'm now just going in with all my stickers, decorating the page. So when I'm creating a page, I work on the background first, and then I work biggest to smallest. So biggest would usually be my photos and also my journaling space. So I add them in to make sure I've got room for them all. And then I go in with the smaller items, like the smaller pieces of ephemera and stickers and things. And that way I make sure I've got room for everything, basically. So on to the following pages after decorating the previous ones. We are on to day 2 now, which is lovely. I have this piece that says souvenir from Cyprus. That is a piece of packaging from the magnet that we got, and it had sort of a hole in the top, so I've just tied some blue lace through that just as to create a little bow. And then I've used that Cyprus piece to back some of my photos, but it also strengthens the paper that I'm working on because it's very fragile. I've added some of those sort of washi tape strip style pieces from the Simple Stories sticker book. And then I'm working on the next page. I've added lots of photos again, so I've created another flip out with all of my photos, and I created a tab for that flip out and then journaled on that small piece of tab, just a little caption of one of the photos. You can see there the fold out of the photos that I created, and then going through the pieces from the paper repack from pt.1, and these are slightly larger, so I'm working with them next before I then go in with my smaller stickers. So we've got a bicycle, which we didn't ride a bicycle while we were away, but I thought it just kind of went with the theme of traveling. I've added a plane, and then I'm going through my sticker sheets to add any smaller pieces. So yeah, I always work largest to smallest. I've also added a small bit of journaling around the photo of Theo. He's actually in the nude on his new racing car float that his nanny and Poppy brought him for the pool. He woke up in the morning and we were trying to get him dressed, and he was just sat on this racing car in the nude instead, which was incredibly cute. In this sticker book, I don't know if I've stuck it down yet. I have. So in the sticker book there were little sort of geotag sized pieces with numbers on from 1 to 10, I think they were. So I've used them to number the days, just so, you know, it keeps it all a bit more cohesive, so I know sort of what day we're on. So obviously this is number 2, and I've added a number 2 there. Flipping on to our next pages, I'm backing that paper on the left hand side with this cocoa vanilla rainbow paper. Again, it strengthens it. It's really quite fragile. I love it, but I'm not sure if I'll use it in my journals again, just because once I start sticking things onto it, it doesn't feel overly secure. So hopefully it stands the test of time. I've got some photos from a church that we visited. We just happened upon this church on our first day of exploring, so that's where all those photos have done. On the right hand page, I've stuck down another journaling spot. I've also added some receipts from where we got a coffee at a local coffee shop, and then again embellished the pages with various things from my Simple Stories sticker book and also the Vicky Boutin collection that I had. I love these. It made journaling about this holiday really easy because it felt like quite a mammoth task. I sat here with all these photos, all these real ephemera pieces, and wasn't overly sure where to begin. but having these sticker books and the Vicky Booting collection, it kind of set the tone of how I was going to journal, if that makes sense. It just made it a lot easier for me to get started. When you've got a big pile of journaling, it can feel a bit daunting, and yeah, this really helped to have some pieces that I brought specifically for this holiday. So moving on to the following pages, and we are at day 3 already. So I added a leafy pattern paper to the top of my page just as a bit of interest. I've got some more photos in the pool. We spent every afternoon in this pool. Like I said, we all loved it. I dream about this pool. So just to add a bit of interest and texture, I added a strip of lace to the top of that photo, and I've stitched that down and then stuck my photo down. There's another flip out of the photos. Again, there's just so many photos that I took. I want to document them all, so it's incredibly photo heavy. My journals always are photo heavy, but particularly for this holiday, it was the most wonderful experience that we had as a family, and it was something that we waited a long time for because we wanted Theo to be a little bit older, so it was a bit easier on him. So when it finally came, it was just magical and wonderful. We had the best time. I loved it. I've got a photo of my mum and Theo in the pool, and I had this sort of Polaroid piece from the Vicky Booting collection. So I just trimmed out the middle part, which I think was a cactus or something similar, and then I've used it as a frame for that photo of Theo and my mum, and also added a little caption, which is nice. I've got a couple more stickers. I added some to the background, some to the foreground. Again, I work sort of biggest to largest, but also back to front if I can. So obviously the background first and then adding things on top. If you sort of add your photos and then try and add things to the background, which I do frequently, it's quite tricky. It's a lot easier to kind of plan ahead if you can. That doesn't always happen, obviously. I've gone back to the previous page just to add the letter, just to add to that page again, just to show that I'm documenting about day 2. So each day I've done that. I've added sort of a title as what day we were on. Moving on to the next page, and again it was a piece of packaging from a paper pad, so the bit with all the sort of information about the papers I've covered up with a scrap of pink, almost like a wallpaper paper. I love this. It's really pretty. Most of it gets covered up actually, but yeah, I added that, and I added a bingo piece from the Vicky Booting collection just to add a bit of interest to the background. I've then got in with another piece to do my journaling. There were lots of writing spots in this Vicky Booting collection, which is lovely. I appreciate that because I had a lot to write about. While I was on holiday, I documented every day on my phone, so when I've gone back to journal about it, it made it a lot easier to remember the different stories, and I'm going to try to do that sort of every time we do something big. I'm going to try and journal about it in my phone because I'm always quite behind on my journaling and I don't want to miss any of the little stories, so it's a good idea to journal about them in the moment, and then when it comes to actually documenting them, you've got a record of what you did, which is helpful. So yeah, I've stuck down that journaling piece, and then I got this fold out sort of leaflet from one of the little cafes that we visited, and I wanted to cover up part of it because it got a bit water damaged. I can't remember why. So part of it I've covered up with some pattern papers and then a couple of photos, and the other part you can see, so you've got sort of a map and the picture of the cafe that we went to, and we actually went here a few times, so I was glad I could document that little cafe that was in the town, in Paphos town. So yeah, we did go there a couple of times. I added the title 3 to my journaling as well, and I'm just going through and adding some more stickers from my Simple Story sticker book. I've also got this pretty floral bow that I was supposed to add to the front of my journal, but I sort of ran out of time. run out of room, so that's been sat on my desk for a while, and it was nice to add that to something, and it just covers up that hole from the journal piece. A few more simple story stickers, and we'll be moving on to the following page. So day 3, like I said, we went into Paphos town, and we wanted to visit the lighthouse, and we saw it from afar, but we didn't actually go up to the lighthouse because Paphos in July is scorching hot. We knew it was going to be very warm, but it was also incredibly humid. I think a lot of the time it was just 100% humidity. It was wonderful. I've never felt better, but it was difficult when it came to things like exploring. We do like to explore a lot on holiday, and after the holiday we did say we would probably, if we went again, we would probably go at a different time so it wasn't quite as hot. But it was beautiful. We had the best time, but yeah, it made exploring a little bit difficult. So we kind of saw the lighthouse from afar and then went to visit these, I think this was the catacombs. I think that's what they were called. Yeah, so we went into Paphos town, stopped for refreshments, had a look at the lighthouse. Oh, and then we went to the castle, which was really cool. Had a look in the old castle that they have there, and that was really nice. That was in the shade, so we enjoyed that. And we also had a McDonald's. We love a McDonald's when we're abroad because we like to test it out and see how good it is, and it was delicious. We all enjoyed that. So I've got receipts from McDonald's and the cafe that we went to. I've stuck them down with other ephemera pieces. I've also got this vintage envelope, and I've added some extra photos in there of the catacombs that we saw. The castle was a different day, I think. Yeah, no. So I've gotten confused. The castle was the following day. This day was the catacombs. We're still on day 3. Sorry about the confusion. This was in July, so this was a fair amount of time away. And like I said, we were incredibly busy. We're not the type of family that just sit around the pool. We get bored. So although we did that in the afternoon because it was so hot, in the daytime we did get out as much as we could. We worked out that if we went out first thing in the morning, then it wasn't quite so bad. So we'd kind of eat breakfast, go out, try and beat the sun, and then as it got hotter we'd head back to the hotel and have a bit more of a relax. So that worked really well. And yeah, I would definitely go back to Cyprus, but I would choose a different time of year. And also personally, I am not a great flyer, and so I would prefer a shorter distance on a plane for our next holiday. We're looking at Turkey, Tunisia, mainland Spain, that type of thing. Any recommendations, let me know. We do like the heat. We like it to be very hot, but we did have an extremely hot week. It was extreme while we were there. My stepdad, who is a frequent holiday maker, struggled a bit with the heat, and he went into Mexico in June, and he said that Paphos was harder to deal with. So that just goes to show how hot it was. Yeah, it was extremely hot. As I said, I loved it, and I could probably live there, but I'm not sure about the rest of them. Theo handled it amazing. He was great. He had the best time. He didn't complain once about the heat. He did really well, but yeah, it was a bit hot for us adults. So those are my pages all finished. So come back tomorrow for the rest of the holiday journaling. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.